what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. Happy Friday, everybody. We've made it through another week. If you've been following this journey, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so that you do not miss future videos. Also, please click the like button to help grow this channel and get the word out on dividend growth investing. Getting paid just for owning stocks. This is what dividend growth investing is all about. This is my second video of the week. In the first part of the week, I let M1 do the picking based upon my allocations that I have set. And the second part of the week, I pick 5 stocks and I deposit $100 and I pick 5 of those and put $20 into each of those. And what we're looking at right now, this is my taxable stock brokerage account, my M1 stock brokerage account, my Average Joe dividends portfolio. And we can see over the last year, this portfolio has been on a pretty good upward trajectory. We can see a low point here in October of 23, and it's risen mostly. We had another down point here in April, and then we had another down point here just a little bit ago, about 10 days ago. We've been rising steadily since. So that's what we've been doing over the last year. We can see just over the last week, a nice 2.2% rise in the portfolio, as well as things are recovering. So let's go jump over to the activity log. And if you're curious to see what's in this portfolio, it's divided into 3 slices: the ETFs, dividend portfolio, and the 12 more dividends. There's a total of 52 different positions in the portfolio, and I'll leave a link below so you can see what those are and what the percentages are that I have allocated to each. And I'll just scroll through so you can kind of see all those. Mostly household names in here. You can see the smallest position is ADP, and the largest is an ETF known as SCHD, which just about everyone is familiar with. So we'll go over here to the activity log finally, and we see there's 10 buys, and there were 5 dividends that rolled in, and these 5 dividends are going to be reinvested right back into those stocks. So we're going to see the dividends actually go up for these. So you can see these, we're going to see those, what the dividend drips are going to do to the next dividend for these investments. So I'll click here and we'll see the 5 dividend drips, and we'll see the 5 selections that I made. So the $20, those are my selections. So Yum Brands is the first selection I made, $20, and then A.O. Smith, this is a dividend drip for $3.71. FNF, $20, BlackRock, $20, Home Depot, $20, and then O Realty paid me a monthly dividend, $12.98. So I'm sure we're going to crack over that $13 mark for next month with this dividend drip. And then Hershey's next up, $20, and then Procter & Gamble, $9.75, getting close to that $10 mark. And then AbbVie, $39.76, very nice dividend from AbbVie. And then Apple, $3.56. We're going to jump over to my Google Docs spreadsheet, and we're going to take a look at a few things here. And everything on this sheet, it's arranged by the pay date. It will just kind of scroll down into the month of August, and we can see that we've received so far $150.31. That's the total. The stocks here in the green for pay date, that's today. So these are the dividends I received. So we're going to see these go up, see the next dividend column. We're going to see these change. These amounts are going to go up, and also the 5 positions where I picked $20 to put into each of those, with Yum and Home Depot, BlackRock, and then the other 2 here are Hershey's and FNF. So we're going to see that change on this sheet, and we're also going to see in the cash flow average for monthly, quarterly, and annual go up. We'll go ahead and we'll put in the monthly right now, the 1,004, the 69. We'll put that in there right there, so we have that amount. And of course the quarterly and annual will change as well, but I like to focus on the monthly. I also have a tab, the monthly average Dividend Tracking Tab, and we're going to grab some data here in just a few minutes from M1. And what that's going to do is it's going to change those values for those stocks where I have purchased additional fractional shares. But again, this sheet's arranged by the month, and we can see we're in in August, and then we already have some dividends lined up for September. You can see even October. And what happens is I check and see if there's updates, like for Pinnacle West, Aflac, Yum Brands. What I'll do is then I'll put in the new pay date. So these, once they pay, they don't stop paying. They're just going to cycle every 3 months, except for those stocks that are the monthly payers, which are O and BST. And we can see BST, that one is my biggest monthly payer by far at over $485 is what I'm expecting in August. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab some data here from M1, and we're going to update this sheet. I'm going to go back to the Holdings tab, and what I do is I grab everything starting from the name column, scroll all the way down, grab this data, and just do a copy. Then back to my Google Docs spreadsheet. I'll leave a link below to this, of course. And I go to the M1 Data tab and do a pay special, do values only. Then the sheet updated over here. And what it's done is it's done it's for the 10 stocks that I bought fractional shares in. It's updated the shares, the average share price, as well as the cost basis for each of those. And we can scroll over here. Actually, we'll look at Yum Brands. That was the first one where we can see the last dividend paid was $6.90, and that's what my new dividend would have been in September, approximately on the 8th. But now it's going to be up to $7, so we broke the $7 mark with that. So I'm going to delete the old dividend, and then we look at Home Depot. I would have been receiving $9.72 in September 14th approximately, and then now it's going to be $9.85. Again, these are $20. No, actually, I'll take that back. Yeah, these are the $20 ones, and the dividend drips are going to be a little bit less as far as their impact. But this is what $20 is moving the needle. I mean, it's not very much, but it does move the needle buying even fractional shares. So we can see with BlackRock, the old dividend $9.71. Now it's going to be $9.82. Then we'll look at Hershey's, the old dividend $9.21, and now it's going to be a $9.35 on September 17th. And then F&F, we've broken the $9 mark from $8.86 now to $9.03. Now we're going to take a look at these dividend drips, and it looks like Apple, just with that tiny $3.56 drip back in, and Apple right now is only paying a 0.44% dividend. So that $3.56 did not move the needle. It did buy a little bit of a fractional share, but it just wasn't a whole penny's worth. So it's going to be the same, and kind of the same with A.O. Smith, but it did move it by a penny with $3.71. And A.O. Smith does pay quadruple the dividend, but it's still lower at 1.6%, but going to be getting a penny more there. And you can see with Procter & Gamble, that would move the needle 6 cents with that dividend increase, getting closer to that $10 mark. And that's why some of these dividends are marked in green, is $10 is the threshold to turn it green. I'd like to see all of my dividends pay at least $10. And to me, that's kind of a significant money amount, because you can kind of go somewhere and get a cheap meal for $10 at least, at most places. Of course, that's not, mind you, a Big Mac meal anymore, but you can get a value meal from most places. So that's why I kind of put that $10 threshold in the green. So getting close with Procter & Gamble. You can see, we broke into the $13 mark from $12.98 to $13.03. And then with AbbVie, of course, with that more substantial dividend, $39.76, and pushed us over the $40 mark. So in November, middle of November, I'm going to receive over $40, with AbbVie. Actually, probably more than that, because in October, AbbVie is slated to announce a dividend increase. And last year they did 10%, or excuse me, 5%. And we can try to do a quick estimate. If it were 10%, it would be a $4 increase, but 5% would be $2. So I'd be getting about $42 if AbbVie does a 5% dividend increase. You can kind of see how that works with dividend drips and things like that, as well as a dividend increase. But I don't know if the AbbVie is going to do the 5%. I hope they do. They probably will, but we'll see. So probably likely receive $42 for that. We're going to scroll down and take a look now at the monthly cash flow average box here. We can see we were at the $1,004.69. That's an average cash flow from this portfolio every month. And the reason why it's average is it's a little bit lumpy. The first 2 months of the quarter pay the lowest, and then the last month of the quarter pays the highest. So what I've done is I've divided the quarterly by 3, and that's where we come up with a monthly cash flow average. And now it's over $1,005 at $1,005.09. So let's take that new value, the $1,005.09, and we're going to go put that over on the monthly average dividend tracking tab. And I like to track all these moves, whether it's a deposit, a dividend drip, or a dividend increase or decrease. So the $100 deposit with those 5 buys at $20 a piece, and then Apple, A.O. Smith, PGO, AbbVie dividend drips, it increased my monthly income by 40 cents. Just remember, this is not a one-time 40 cent. This is 40 cents stacking on top of my income. So think of it as getting, like, if you get a steady paycheck, like this is adding 40 cents to it each and every month to my monthly paycheck going forward. And I know that doesn't sound like much, but this is not just happening once a year or once a month or even once a week. Just take a look at so far in the month of August how I've increased my dividend income. So I've added $6.15 of additional dividend income each and every month going forward. And you can see how that can be powerful, just stacking more and more raises on top of each other. And while that's happening, I'm also dripping that income back into itself with dividend raises as well. You can see Illinois Toolworks at a 7% dividend increase. So along with my buys, those 3 things just keep turning this engine and just increasing this overall. And that's why I like to track this. So you can see back on when I started doing this is back in December 7th, 2022, it was at 766.64. And you can see everything I've tracked here with dividend increases, decreases, things like that. And mostly it's been dividend increases, and really going forward, it's SCHD is really the only variable for me where it's raised and lowered its dividend significantly. You can see in the first quarter, SCHD likes to dip that dividend, but then they like to bring it back up. So there's a significant raise here in June. So we'll see what happens in September. We could have another dip, but I know in December we're going to have another recovery. So let's go to the Dividend Tracker tab, and you can see here it starts at January 2021 with a portfolio value of $18,700. If you're wondering how this money started, this is pretty much me just saving like my daily or my monthly allowance I gave to myself to spend on just things. I wasn't spending that money, I was saving it, and I was buying things to resell either on eBay, Facebook, Craigslist, and I just started building that up. And this is just kind of an extra portfolio. This really wasn't even for retirement or anything else like that. It was just kind of like a fun portfolio built with that money. And you can see my deposits were pretty small, and this is just extra money that I was just making on the side, really. And I kind of kept doing that for a while until I had kind of a pool of money from equity in a home I no longer own, and I decided to put that to work for me in this portfolio, and that really significantly increased it. But even if you're starting at a smaller amount, even if you're starting with your first $100, don't feel bad. You have to start somewhere, and the best time to start is today. And just don't put it off, and just keep adding to it. Just remember though, there's going to be up times where you're putting money into your portfolio and your portfolio is going to be going down, and that's okay. You just have to remember you're buying shares at a discount, and your shares aren't going away. It's just the value of the shares are temporarily going down. So we can see the portfolio value right now rounded to the nearest $100. And here's the dividends received so far in August. We're not close to being done yet. And we can see here's the average monthly dividend above the $1,000 mark. Here's the month-over-month gain so far just for the month of August at 0.62%. Here's the annual dividends produced by this portfolio. So over $12,000 of just cash rolls out of this portfolio for me doing nothing. I mean, that's a pretty good sum of money. I can just collect that, and even if I collected it, I'm going to get more each and every year with those dividend increases, even if I don't put in another dollar and I take all dividends out of the portfolio. This is going to keep going up. But what's accelerating it is that I'm dripping dividends back into it, and I'm still buying shares of these stocks. So there, I'm going to account for that $100 I put in. So we account for that. And to wrap it up, I'm just going to go over my total net worth. It really dipped like 10 days ago when the market started tanking on the inflation news, but it's quickly recovered to pretty much all-time highs. Let me go back to the dividend portfolio tab. I track like the high watermarks of like VTI, which is Vanguard's total stock market index, and we're pretty much above 5% of all-time highs. Excuse me, I'm recovering from a cold. And we can see SCHD here, excuse me, is not quite at its all-time high mark here at 0.93%, but it's getting very close to that high water mark. So back to the total net worth. We'll close this video out. And again, sorry, I've been sick lately for the past week. So my M1 stock portfolio, that's about 15% of my total net worth, and most of my net worth is wrapped up into boring ETFs. As you can see here with Vanguard, I have an IRA, and this is my own money being contributed into this IRA here, and then a Roth IRA, and then here's a taxable brokerage account here. So this IRA is not employment, it's just my own money kicking it in. And then over here, T Rowe, this is my current employer. This is my current 401k. It's an S&P 500 index fund. And to me, again, I can't give investment advice, but if you're younger, 20s or 30s, even in your 40s, you're not going to retire in the next couple years, I would be 100% in a total stock market index. Don't even worry about bonds. There's no need for them. Of course, stocks are more volatile. Just be prepared for that your portfolio could be chopped in half temporarily. But as long as you're good with that and know the history of like the S&P and things like that, I would be 100% stocks if you're still building your net worth and things like that. So we can see here, M1 Finance. This is my prior work employment of my career here from prior employers over here, and again in boring ETFs. And here is my dividend portfolio at M1 that I went into at length. And I'm starting to move more money over to M1 with their 5% savings account. And then you can see as a result, my synchrony is dipping. As a result, it was over $75,000 before. And then I have some money over here. This is my short-term money over here. And here's my only, my asset is my home right here. That's the value of it, but we'll get into the liabilities. Here's the current balance on my credit card. But I don't carry a balance. It's just the balance that I have currently, and I'll pay it well before it's due. And then here is my debt. This is my mortgage on this house here, and we'll see how fast I pay that off. I'd like to pay it off soon. But here's my total net worth at $1.6 million, getting close to that 1.7. And then here is the breakdown of my net worth with stocks. home equity, and cash. You can see cash getting close to $100,000 in cash. It's probably too much. I should probably think about a plan for it soon, because that's actually a drag. And, even if it's making 5% long term, that's actually not going to help me out. We can see how that's split up with about a 60-40 from my pre-tax retirement to after-tax, so I can actually access, and then split between U.S. and international. So that's all I had to show you guys for this video. Looks like I can't go back to what I purchased, but you can just rewind the video back to what those were. So let me know in the comments below what you guys are buying to close out this week. Let me know what you think about my picks as well. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and everybody take care.